Well, in court, 66-year-old Marcella Chidester was charged with several crimes, including murder. Chidester is accused of crashing her car into the Swan Boat Club while intoxicated. The crash killed two siblings at the scene, 8-year-old Alana Phillips and 4-year-old Zane Phillips. Multiple other victims were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. She was charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of operating while intoxicated by liquor causing death, and 4 counts of operating while intoxicated causing serious injury.
A judge setting Chidester's bond and $1.5 million. If posted, she would be monitored by GPS and must not consume any alcohol. If convicted, she could face up to 2 life sentences, 2 15-year sentences, and 4 5-year sentences. In the crash that killed 2 children at that birthday party in Monroe County, as we said, in front of a judge in court today.
Well, in court, 66-year-old Marcella Chidester was charged with several crimes, including murder. Chidester is accused of crashing her car into the Swan.
All right, let's dive into the tragic story that shook a community to its core. Imagine a 66-year-old drunk driver crashing into a boat club, resulting in the heartbreaking loss of 2 innocent children. This devastating incident left the community in shock and mourning. The impact of such reckless behavior is beyond comprehension. The reckless actions of the drunk driver not only ended the lives of 2 young children but also shattered the peace and safety of the entire community. The consequences of one person's irresponsible choices are truly catastrophic. As we delve into the details of the accident, we learn about the swift response from authorities and the overwhelming emotional aftermath for the families affected. The pain and grief felt by those involved are unimaginable. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of drunk driving and the urgent need for stricter measures to prevent such tragedies from happening again. Let's honor their memory by committing to making better choices and advocating for stricter measures to prevent similar incidents. I urge you, the viewers, to reflect on this story, share your thoughts in the comments below, and consider supporting organizations dedicated to preventing drunk driving accidents.
We walked into that birthday party having a fun time.
We begin with breaking news this afternoon. An emotional day in court as the woman accused of killing 2 children and injuring several others faced a judge in Monroe County.
We have team coverage tonight. Michael Sandlin is live in Monroe breaking down what happened during the hearing. Our Melissa Andrews is in studio tonight and how the family is reacting.
Now, the woman accused in the crash that killed 2 children at that birthday party in Monroe County, as we said, in front of a judge in court today.
Well, in court, 66-year-old Marcella Chidester was charged with several crimes, including murder. Chidester is accused of crashing her car into the Swan Boat Club while intoxicated. The crash killed 2 siblings at the scene, 8-year-old Alana Phillips and 4-year-old Zane Phillips. Multiple other victims were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. She was charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of operating while intoxicated by liquor causing death, and 4 counts of operating while intoxicated causing serious injury.
A judge setting Chidester's bond and $1.5 million. If posted, she would be monitored by GPS and must not consume any alcohol. If convicted, she could face up to 2 life sentences, 2 15-year sentences, and 4 5-year sentences.
Prosecutors allege Chidester suffers from a severe substance abuse issue, which they claim family and friends have corroborated. The defense claimed Chidester suffers from a medical condition that causes paralysis of the legs. Michael Sandlin was in court this morning and joins us now live. Michael, this was far from a regular arraignment.
Yeah, Kaylee, it's not often you see the defense and the prosecution arguing the facts of the trial before the trial's even started, but that's exactly what we saw here in court this morning. Monroe County Prosecutor Jeff Yorkey and Chidester's defense attorney Bill Kolovos went head-to-head over the matter for bond, with Yorkey saying she was a known alcoholic and substance abuser, believing the $1.5 million bond was intended to prevent her from putting others in danger. Meanwhile, Kolovos says Chidester has a serious medical condition, and there's no way she can control what happened last Saturday.
Because of the paralysis she gets once in a while in her legs. And it's all documented, and I'll bring forward the medical records. So we're burning somebody at the stake by just craziness.
Your Honor, there is no indication whatsoever in any of the evidence that we have uncovered in this case that the defendant suffered from a seizure at the time of this incident. In fact, quite the opposite. A very long investigation has occurred. There was a preliminary breath test done, which indicated that her blood alcohol level was significantly over the legal limit.
And this morning in court, multiple members of the victim's family were present over Zoom and actually interrupted court proceedings multiple times, specifically over a claim made by the defense. I'll share what that claim was and what they had to say coming up tonight at 6. But for now, reporting in Monroe, I'm Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.
One of the people we heard from in court this morning is the children's aunt, Raquel Smothers. She helped us get a sense of exactly what happened that day, taking us back to this weekend. Melissa Andrews is live with what we learned about what happened before, during, and after the crash. Mel?
Well, Jeff, Raquel Smothers was in tears, shaking as she recounted siblings Zane, Alana, and Jaden walking into that birthday party at Swan Boat Club as happy children. It's clear she was very close with them, as she said her own birthday was just a few days before this party, and the 3 kids were just at her house visiting. Through sobs, she said that Alana had flawlessly curly hair and loved to dance, and Zane loved Gujitsu action figures, telling jokes, and Eminem. She said it was while sitting at a table at the party that the family was hit, an image she cannot get out of her mind.
I had to see my deceased niece and nephew. I had to see their very last moment before their car was removed. I seen it. And my sister can't decide what she wants. And then babies, I can tell you right now, cannot have an open casket. It's a horrible, dramatic thing. I cannot close my eyes at night without seeing the babies and what they look like.
Raquel said she was the one who had to tell her sister Mariah that 2 of her children were killed when she was removed from a ventilator just yesterday, saying it isn't just their family whose lives are destroyed. Many others were on Saturday, too. As for Mariah, her attorney says she has 6 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, and other injuries. Her other son, Jaden, underwent several hours of surgery and has broken legs and ribs, as well as a fractured skull. Kaylee?
Well, in light of this tragedy, Rump Funeral Home and St. Joseph Cemetery in Monroe are lending a helping hand to the family. They say they will offer free funeral and burial services to the victim's family. Officials with the Monroe County Jail say Marcella Chidester, the woman charged in the death of 2 children and injuring others after crashing her car into the building, was released after posting bond. A judge set Chidester's bond at $1.5 million. It's not clear how much was posted when she did get out. She's charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of operating while intoxicated, causing death, and 4 counts of operating while intoxicated, causing serious injury. She is set to make her next court appearance on April 30th.
They were sitting at that table eating, and this woman crashed her car through this building, destroying all of our lives.
3 days after investigators say she crashed her car into a kid's birthday party, Marcella Chidester shuffled into a Monroe County courtroom Tuesday morning, charged with 2 counts of second-degree homicide and operating a vehicle while intoxicated, causing death and serious injury.
She chose to drink and drive, and she took my grandbaby from us.
I had to see my deceased niece and nephew. I had to see their very last moment before their car was removed.
Siblings Alana and Zane Phillips killed. Their mother and older brother were injured, along with several others at the Swan Boat Club in Berlin Township on Saturday.
I seen her. My daughter, my mom, my sister, my nephew from the opposite side of the family. My sister's 3 children.
Chidester's bond set at $1.5 million cash surety.
There was a preliminary breath test done, which indicated that her blood alcohol level was significantly over the legal limit.
Chedister has close ties to the club. She lives just a few houses away. She's a club member, and at one time she was the boat club commodore.
During my 10 years of being a member of the boat club, most of the time I've seen her, she's been highly intoxicated, and I've watched people try to walk her out the door dozens and dozens of times.
Her attorney arguing,
My client has a history of having seizures. And this history has lasted since last November. It started of an epileptic type seizure in her legs.
but prosecutors say there is no evidence that Chedister was having a seizure at the time of the crash.
No, when you have medical conditions, you should never get behind a wheel whether you are drinking or not.
Meanwhile, the victim's family is now suing her and Verna's bar, where she allegedly had one drink hours before the crash.
This wasn't some freak occurrence, okay? Bad decisions were made, and those bad decisions led to this tragedy and cost the lives of these young children.
In Monroe County, Camila Mary, Fox 2 News.
Before we go to break, I want to tell you about some new developments in the case of a woman in Michigan accused of driving her car into a boat club and killing siblings Zane and Alana Phillips. This happened last April. The children were attending a birthday party when it happened. Several other people were injured. Now, prosecutors say 66-year-old Marshella Chedister was drunk when it happened. She sat down and spoke exclusively with Scripps affiliate WXYZ to talk about exactly what happened.
Why did you decide to sit down with?
Know that I'm so very, very disturbed about the situation, and I don't remember what happened. I can only say that I've been praying for everyone that's been injured. I would never, ever do anything intentional. Never. I mean, that's just not me. And especially to a boat club that I love so much, and I have family and friends there. I think I had a seizure. I think that the same thing that my husband said that I did when I have a seizure is just go straight. And I think when I got in the car, that's what happened. I just had the seizure and probably put my foot on the accelerator and crashed into the building.
Now, the prosecution, they disagree, saying a preliminary breath test showed her blood alcohol level was significantly over the limit. Now, Chedister will be in court for a 2-day probable cause hearing beginning tomorrow. We're going to bring you any new developments in that case and continue to follow it for you.
Like what it do, ayy. I just put up to little shawty swerving in that cool, ayy. Cheeky if I don't love no